ของพี่ยืนมาประคองยืนปลอบใจน้องเห็นน้ำตาคลอเบาช่วยเช็ดน้ำตายามเศร้ากอดน้องเบาๆแนบไว้ในอกลงเถิดน้องลงมันที่ตกเขาที่จะทุ่งทาง
Hi everyone, Friday night, 9 p.m. Welcome to the stream, and quite a few in already, so good to have you all in. I'm going to say hi to everybody as usual at the beginning. Loads of stuff to get through. You know what the big news is tonight, don't you? From 4 a.m. on Monday, Thailand is off the UK's red list, so that's a step in the right direction. But we'll lots and lots to talk about later as far as new types of visas and immigration, all that sort of stuff. But we'll wait till we get a few more in, and let's just see who we've got in at the moment. So it's usual hi to Ryan, Seeger, Paul, how are you doing? Paul Pryor, Cole, where is it? Hey Peter, I'm good vibes tonight. I hope we have some good vibes. The Lman 77, Gary Reed, hi, Joe Blogs, Robert Beto. I sent my story into Peter was of my time in the Phuket sandbox. Okay, so if you've sent a story, and you know I do call outs for stories, remember I'm only doing 2 or 3 a week, so I wouldn't have got a backlog. I always welcome more stories, but I'm not down to just a couple. So I do them by date. So the one that I've had the longest will be the next one. I've got 3 tomorrow morning. The second one's really good. Hi Mark from Chicago. How you doing? Say a special hi to you, Mark, because I believe you've watched every single one of my videos. I think it's you, isn't it? You always leave a lot of comments, and you said officially I've watched every single one of your videos, and I've got over 200 on there now. So well done for. Yeah, I mean, you know, you think you'd have had enough of me by now, but hey ho. Right, Matthew Olcon, how you doing? Scott D, Windy City turning in. Evil C, here we go. Tony D, yeah, that's weird, isn't it, Tony? Normally by this time we've got the 2 thumbs down. You know, the 2 trolls have been on. I've been on all of 30 seconds and they haven't been in yet. Maybe they're. We'll give them a bit more time. Paul Pryor, how you doing? Hello from Guernsey. Pesky McNuggets, how you doing? Damien, how are you? I've got to say a big hi to Damien because I talked to Damien a lot on the telephone. I met him on this stream actually. On the stream months and months and months ago. And because I'm on a diet and I've been trying to lose a lot of weight since June. When I go out in the evenings, I was walking for an hour every night. I've cut that down to half an hour now. But Damien kind of lives on his own, and we spend a lot of time on the phone just talking about Thailand and the usual sort of thing. But I don't know, these phone calls just seem to be epic. They go on and on and on. Even after an hour, we both haven't finished what we want to say, and so we ring the next night. But anyway, how you doing, David? Right, Alexander Dupont, hello there. Taxi Talal, Sawadee Kab. How you doing? Hello, Peter from Los Angeles. Guideline 7. Hi, Peter. Hi, all greetings from Germany. That did say that right, didn't I? Guideline 7, yeah. 125 in now. Welcome to everyone. And we'll get into all the good stuff in a bit. I've got some great videos lined up for you tonight, guys. Do you remember? I've got a few Thai commercials, some funny commercials. One of them has kind of got a bit of meaning to it. And do you remember I was talking about the 80s, 70s and 80s adverts? Some of them they couldn't show now, but we had some famous PG Tips. That's a tea bag in the UK. Still big today. And the famous adverts of the 80s, they had monkeys dressed as humans and they did voiceover. Very, very funny, very good. I've got 4 of them for you tonight. And I dug them out yesterday, so I'm going to show you them. And of course, at 10 p.m., the ever popular Spot the Ladyboy competition. Got a whole new set of 18 pictures for you tonight with them. We'll talk more about that later on. Hi to the football nerd. Hello from India, 1:30 a.m. here. Yeah, how you doing? Darren Drew, evening from Sweden. Bob Smith, good evening. Mark from it too. Hey, Marion, I can't see your second name, but I'll put it up there for everyone to see. Frankie W, hi. Michael Whitaker, greetings from Los Angeles. Hope all is well. Hi, Michael. Good to have you in the stream tonight again. Oh, Terrifico. I love that. I say it every week. I love that name. How you doing? Mark, finally. Oh, Mark Form CT2 finally got on live. Well, I've just started, Mark, so welcome. Hopefully it's going to be a good one tonight. We'll try and run it for about 2 hours. John Jar Johnny, good evening. How you doing? James Shoesmith, David Baker, evening, Peter. Dennis, BB from Norwich. Crypto Chris, how you doing? Right, who else we've got? Greg. Dave Dorman, is it? Or Dorman. Hi from Dawlish, is it? Hello, Dawlish, yeah. Mark Hewitt, hello, Peter. I've never been to Thailand, but it's on my bucket list. I've learned a lot on do's and don'ts from the channel. Mark, one thing I'd like to say, you know, a lot of the YouTubers, I'll say hi to everybody else in a minute. A lot of guys who do YouTube channels, including myself, will kind of, I'm not really struggling for content because I do the stories and we've got the Nat and Dave and the live streams and that. But a lot of the guys in Thailand kind of struggle because there's only so many times you can walk down Sukhumvit and say, look, all the bars closed and that one's gone. You know, it's all been done. Everything's been done. So a lot of these videos that people make, including myself, when you see video 20 scams in Thailand or 20 bad things that happened to me in Thailand, it's no different to anywhere else in the world. And don't let them kind of videos put you off. That's worst case scenario. I mean, in nearly 29 years, I've been going to Thailand, visiting, living there, working there, and I've had nothing really happen to me. So don't, you know, if you haven't been there before, it's on your bucket list. It's just common sense stuff. The same as if you were visiting a big city like London, Tokyo. Well, probably not Tokyo, but somewhere like Los Angeles, California, or any big city, Sydney. You just got to keep your wits about you. But it's not any more dangerous than anywhere else. Shinria, how you doing? Is that Vince Gaskins? Hi, Nicholas Fletcher, Mr. The Lion King. Yeah, how you doing? Tom Waddington, Paul V, Adrian Bates. I've got ABC Deaf. I'm whizzing through them now, so I'll be doing nothing but saying hi to everyone every night. We've nearly got 150 in already. Tony Tottenham, that's a great name. Bridget B. Got a lady in the stream tonight. Welcome to you. I do have ladies who are subscribed to this site, not that to the channel, not that many. Out of 25,000 plus subscribers, I think I counted 987 the other day from the stats. But welcome to you. Sometimes we get a little bit, you know, we talk about things of an adult nature. So, you know, if you're easily offended, I'm warning you now. I've got to say a big hi to Marky Mark. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Straight in with the super chat there, $10. You do that every week, and I do appreciate it. Tom Waddington, where are you going? Bangkok to Pattaya? Well, go to both of them. Evening, Peter from Northampton. That's Stuart. Jamie, hi. You're in Hua Hin, Jamie. How is that new? I know things aren't back to normal yet, but how's that new bar complex coming along on Soi 94? They got a new. I stay on Soi 94 in the initial hotel, but there's a new lot of bars open up down there, isn't there? Interesting to. I know they can't open at the moment, but just the development of them. Are they? Do they look good? Right. Let me just. You see, you changed your username. I mentioned this last time. You said that this was going to be live at 8 p.m. my time. When I looked 15 minutes ago, I was with. No, it's 9 p.m. I mean, there's something. I don't know what's going on. It's this software StreamYard. They do GMT +1, but it's always 9 o'clock. I don't change the time. I changed from Saturday to Fridays because the football was conflicting. I can't compete with that. But it's always 9 o'clock. Okay, so there's another super chat there. Let me just find that, put that up there. I'd like to say thank you to all you guys who do that. That's from Mark. Thank you, Mark. Straight into the Cronenberg Fund there. Dave Fletcher, hi to you. Let's just catch the last few and then we'll get into some good stuff here. Frankie W. I introduced a lawyer's office to Dave and Nat. Yeah, that lawyer, have you ever noticed in the Dave and Nat? You just reminded me of something. This is what I wanted to say. Right, a lot of people... they left comments and said, oh, I really enjoyed the series, but it's a shame it's ended. And it hasn't actually ended. I was wondering why, because episodes 1 to 9, I never got one comment like that. But on the 10th episode that Simon did, I got all these comments. Oh, it was good, but I'm going to miss it. And it was a funny ending or a good ending. And just did a little bit of research. And what it was, the 1 to 9 episodes of Nat and Dave's, at the end, it said, to be continued. So you knew there was another one coming. And this last one, it said, you know, Nat is now a pro, and it built her up. And then it said the end, but it's not. And I was talking to Simon 2 days about it, and we were kind of trying to develop the story. And we were thinking, well, what can we do to keep Nat is obviously the main character in the animation. We can only bring that out once a month now because of Simon's commitment to his work, his business in Bangkok. But it was the last Saturday every month. And we were kind of talking about the story, how we can develop it. And she's met another guy now, hasn't she? We don't want to go down the same route like she did with Jason, because it's just going to be, you know, the same old, same old. So we've got some interesting storylines coming up, but it's not finished. I just want to say hi to, is that a new member joined it? Yeah, new member. So Go hopping. Yeah, hi, how you doing? Yeah, so welcome to you. We've got another couple of other members. I'll just leave that up for a minute, and then I'll say hi to the other two. Then we've got to get into some of this stuff because I've got so much stuff to get through today. Is there anybody I haven't said hello to? Jim Woods, Brian Jones, high five. Eddie Parloni, how you doing? Digital Crab, yeah, hi. Phil Carter, Keith Morris, Barfine 69, Powerline 69. Big up all the, I don't know what LBFMs mean out there, but are you the guy who's got the channel in Patia who is a little bit different to most of the channels, if you know what I mean? Right. I think I pretty much said hi to everybody. If I haven't, I will do later on as you putting through the comments. Right. So let me just get rid of that and let's put a few of these. Just let you know what's going on. Right. So I'll leave the exchange rates up for a minute while the baht's taking a hammering, isn't it? Which is good for us. Whether it will stay hammered, I don't know. We want to talk about what's going on at the moment. So let me just find, I'll do it from on screen. I'm not going to read the paper. Okay. Okay. So there's a, where are we? We're talking about the, right. You know, we're talking, right. The quarantine's been cut to 7 days. Right. So the heading to this one, Thailand cuts the quarantine to 77 days, not 17. Right. And you know, the big news today, Thailand is off the UK's red list, which doesn't really help us because there's not much going on at that end. So yeah, we can go to Thailand and then we come back to the UK and we're not going to be have a quarantine. But the problem is there's nothing to do out there, is there? They got, you know, a curfew. I think it's 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Everything's closed. There's no alcohol. Bars are closed. You can go to restaurants. I'm not even sure if you can buy it in 7-Eleven, but it's not, you're not going to have a great time if you go there right now. So it's not doing us a lot of good, but I'll just read this. It says, Thailand agreed to have its mandatory quarantine to 7 days for fully vaccinated visitors starting next month and will remove any isolation period for such travelers in 10 key provinces, including Bangkok, in November to help revive its tourism department economy. The region includes popular tourist areas Chang-Mia, Krabi, Hua Hin, Pattaya, and Cha'am, and following the successful reopening of Phuket and Samui Islands to vaccinated people in pilot schemes since July. So there you go on that one. Now there's another. They're tightening up on certain people over there now. So you know, there's always been guys who what they do, they stay in Thailand forever. They're going on a 30-day tourist visa. They get it extended once or twice. I can't remember. I think it's twice you can get it extended, so 3 months. And then what they do, they'll take a bus up to the Laos border, Cambodia, somewhere like that. And then, you know, they keep doing that and they're able to remain in Thailand indefinitely almost by just border hopping, as I call it. But the Thai government now, they're tightening the strings on that. So if I read this out to you, you'll know exactly what I mean. So the title of this is 30-day visa entrance is now limited to 2. Border runs have been cut short due to the very recent change in rules regarding overland entry by Thai immigration. Foreigners under the visa exemption list who are entering Thailand via border pass at Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Malaysia, without securing a prior visa will now be granted 30-day visa exception stamp 2 times per calendar year from January the 1st to December the 31st. So basically, you can do it twice now. You're not going to be able to remain in Thailand for a year just doing tourist visas. According to a spokesman for the Thai Immigration Bureau, the new regulation was created to encourage foreigners to secure the proper visas in advance from a Royal Thai embassy prior to the arrival. The new rule will also limit the amount of back-to-back visa runs made by foreigners. So they're just, they're tightening up on all this. They don't want this kind of cheating going on. And it's not that difficult to get long-term visas in Thailand if you do it properly. I already mentioned in the last stream, if you send off to a Thai embassy, you can get a 2 months, initial 2 months, 60-day tourist visa, and they'll extend that for 30 days. So you can actually be in Thailand for 90 days legitimately, straight off the back, as it were. Right. Okay. Let me get rid of this. And these are the latest figures, what's going on with the pandemic. And let's get back to the chat and see what you lot are saying. Right, Nicholas Fletcher. Last in Thailand, March 2020, me and a mate in Plymouth was hoping to come back December, but every month it keeps getting pushed back. think they're on about end of November now for reopening. Yeah, but when you say reopening, there's reopening as is, or there's reopening with, you know, alcohol and bars, isn't there? I know there's people who are like racehorses at they're like racehorses ready to bolt as soon as they say you can go. But I'm going to sort of take it easy and see how it goes. I want to get a little bit of feedback because, you know, I work hard for my money and I don't want to go to Thailand and it's just be a whole waste of time. If I was retired and I was going out there to live full time, then fair enough, I'll take a chance. But I'm not going to go out on a 2-week holiday, you know, just to think, oh, it used to be good and now it's not. I don't really want to do that. Okay, let me get rid of this. And okay, let me do a one of the funny ones just to lift the mood up a little bit. Let me do 2 Thai commercials. I'll do 2 short Thai commercials, and we'll do the monkey ones later on and all the other stuff. But here's the first of 2 Thai commercials.
ลูกอมขายไง
มิตรบาท
เอาเม็ดนึง
ไม่มีทอนมีทอน
สม ควรใช้บัตรเงินสดสมาร์ทเพิร์ส
That's great, isn't it? It's good. You know, some of their adverts are really funny. These aren't the funniest ones I've ever shown, but they're worth a watch. I'll do another one now, and then I've got 2 more. I'll do them later on in the stream when we've talked a bit more about all this immigration stuff. So here's the second one.
สวัสดีครับพี่แดง
ยืมเงิน
ครับ 20,000 ครับ
ไม่มีปัญหา แต่พี่ขอชื่อน้องเบอร์โทรที่อยู่ที่ทำงานที่อยู่ของพ่อแม่ของเมียแล้วก็โรงเรียนลูกเดี๋ยวก่อนปกติกลับบ้านกี่โมงเสาร์อาทิตย์ชอบไปไหน
ที่ศรีสวัสดิ์เงินติดล้อแค่
เล่มทะเบียนพี่
ของง่ายได้ไวศรีสวัสดิ์
They're great, aren't they, those adverts? I'll show you another 2 later on. I don't want to do them all now, but the monkey ones are really funny. Okay, so, right, let's see what you're saying. Alex Dupont, I think I've seen the same set of ads that you did, Peter. Yeah, they're not unique. I mean, they're on the internet, and the only reason I put them up is because a lot of guys out there, we've got over 200 people in the stream now, and I'm guessing a lot of you guys haven't seen these adverts. If you have seen them, they're not very long, so you just stick with it. Shalom Levi, I think, let me put that up there. What does that say? I think them change everything, not same like before. When I live on Thailand too, everything was different and can, but I throw that. Yeah, it won't, definitely won't be the same as before. I have, that's a good time to read another article about what they're trying to do now. I don't know how they're going to do it. Let me just get my little box of tricks up here. And let me, on what you've just said, let me read something out to you. Now I've got so much here, it's finding it. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Here we go. Yeah, right. So TAT, the Thailand, you know, the I forget what it stands for, Tourism Authority of Thailand, right? So this is I think I got this one from the Tiger. This is the latest, but it's just it's one of those typical Thai ways of thinking, and you read it and you think, what's going on there? So the title of this, it says TAT 80% revenue recovery plan, get travelers to spend double. While the Tourism Authority of Thailand admits the revenue figures for 2021 are grim and likely won't improve at the moment in the final quarter, they still have a rosy outlook on the tourism market rebounding over the next few years. TAT is estimating that by 2023, tourism revenue will have recovered by 80% of the huge number seen in its peak in 2019. They plan on making up revenue loss from fewer people coming by attracting wealthier travelers and getting tourists to spend more in Thailand. I don't know how they're going to do that, but that's the plan. TAT's plan to see revenue numbers jump so high seems to hinge on the idea of drawing more wealthy and high-spending travelers to Thailand. TAT acknowledges they don't expect to see anywhere near the 40 million travelers seen in 2019 and has taken a traditional Thai approach towards recovery, double the amount that each tourist pays. They hope to increase from 49,700 baht average per tourist in 2019 to get a higher spending travelers to spend an average of 82,576 baht per person. So I mean that's their plan to kind of get it, you know, to get more revenue coming in. But I can already see a flaw in that. I'm not an expert in tourism, but I can see a flaw in that already. And that is, if you're only going to target wealthy tourists, what about all the budget hotels that a lot of guys stay in? What about these small restaurants that high-flying travelers wouldn't go to? All these little, you know, in Phuket, Pattaya, Hue, and everywhere, these little beachfront restaurants. I mean, how would they survive? I don't know. It seems a little bit flawed to me, but like I say, I'm not an expert. Okay. What else? Right. Linda Sutton. Hi, Peter. What happened to Simon and Mem? Land of Smiles. Regards, Linda and DJ Sammy. Right. What happened to them? I don't think anything actually happened to them. So I used to watch Simon Land of Smiles. He tells stories. He'd begun before me. Some people said to me, "Oh, you're copying Land of Smiles." I'm sure he's had people say that about me, but he started before me. He doesn't read his stories. He kind of reads them from memory, and they can go into lots of episodes. I used to enjoy watching them, but sometimes they go on a little bit too long for me because I just haven't got the time. So he was running his kind of resort near, was it Chonburi, with his wife Mem, and they were doing okay. They were renting out rooms, and they had some long-term expats staying with them. And then when the pandemic hit, they're like everybody else, you know, their business just went down the pan. They strung it out for as long as they could. They reduced all their costs. From watching Simon's videos, they reduced all their costs, and they got to a point where it was do or die. They had to make a decision. They came back to the UK, and as far as I know, I think Simon does a live stream every now and again. I've seen one with some other people. I really can't remember the time or day or whatever it is. And I know they were working. They got jobs, something to do with the pandemic. You know, these centres where you go and get your jab and all the rest of it. Something to do with that. But and I think they're planning to go back, from what I read or what their videos, in about 2 or 3 years. So that's it. They're just being hit like everybody else. Alan Burns, is it Briars? Yeah, let's talk about Ed for a minute. Fair play to Ed Sweeney. Had a nightmare traveling from Greece to Turkey, but so good to see what you have to be a YouTube traveler. Yeah, he's single, so he's kind of got more motivation than me. And I've done the Middle East for sort of 4 years when I worked in the hotel, so it's not really a place I'd want to pay to go and visit. Nothing wrong with it, but I've done it. Yeah, fair play to Ed. I mean, I've been following his videos. He started off on the bus rides, which looked like hell, and then he was in Greece. That island looked nice where he was. You know, that crest, that coastline with all those little restaurants. I thought that'd be quite nice with a partner. And then he went off to Athens, didn't he? Then I watched his one today where he went from Athens to, was it Istanbul he went to, or Egypt or somewhere like that? And then he ended up in Turkey in a place called Dalaman. He finally got to his hotel. But yeah, I mean, it was you know, if you watch that video, I mean, it was just you know, he just lost it outside the airport because he was not lost it, but he was kind of, you could see it. He was really frustrated. And I think he made the decision. I thought, I just can't do a whole winter in the UK, and he's gone for whatever, just to get away. But whether he's enjoying it as much as he thought he would, I don't know. But fair play to him, as you say, Alan. Right, hedge fund. Knowing our luck, by the time the Brits can get back to Thailand en masse, the baht will go back up. Yeah, that's what I said as well, and somebody else said. Okay, right. Robert, I spoke with visa company. There's no problem with doing extended visa. Get your facts right, Peter. Right. Okay, Robert. So I spoke with visa company. There's no problem with doing extended visa. Yeah. Well, the visa company could be lying to you, Mark, because you know, the Thai government's come out and said they're only from the first. They're only going to do 2 renewal stamps. So I'm not saying what I say is gospel, but I've read that on the Thai embassy's website. Okay, so you can, if you don't believe me, you can go check that. Right, Robert Beto, hi, just some smile marks there. Mark Alexander Dupont. I think I've seen the same set of yeah, we read that one, didn't we? Right, what's this? Yeah, done that one. I'll tell you what. Let me do a couple of these monkey adverts because they're really funny. You're going to like these. Just make sure I haven't missed anyone. Paul Pryor, is the 10 p.m. curfew still in place? Yeah, I think it's going to change till 10 p.m. Paul, I'm not 100% sure on this. I think it's 9 at the moment. It's going to go to 10. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else can tell us. Right, Mark, I'm only asking because I've never been outside of the US. I want to travel to Thailand, England, Scotland, and Germany. Yeah, probably better off just Thailand, to be honest with you, Mark. Okay, Marky Mark. Loved your interview with Michael Parrott. More of these, please. Yeah, I've got Michael and I are planning to do 2 other videos, at least 2 more. I have a couple of weeks off work in 3 weeks' time or 2 weeks' time. So that's when I'm going to hook up with Michael, because there's a 6-hour time difference. But the 2 videos that we're going to do is one subject in 2 different parts. I don't want to tell you what it is right now. They're more kind of positive videos, you know, not things to watch getting burnt or anything like that. And I'm supposed to be on Trevor's stream this Wednesday as a guest. Trevor's got a new time slot. He does his streams on a Wednesday now, I think, to catch a UK audience. I think it's 7 o'clock. And I went on to his stream the other night and I wrote a comment, and Trevor sort of said, I'm glad you're on here, Peter. I was going to ask you to come on the stream again on Wednesday. And I said I'd WhatsApp him and that. And he was like, great. So I did WhatsApp him, but 2 days gone by now and I haven't, you know, the ticks go green, don't they, when someone's read it, and they haven't gone green. So I've emailed him today and said, what's happening? So I haven't had anything back yet. So I don't know. It's supposedly this Wednesday, but I'm not sure. Right. Richard, Simon and Mem's place was near Chatham. Okay, fair enough. Not Chumbury. All right. Okay. Right. Dave Andrews says, on the Tiger, they said 40,000 tourists on Sandbox since July when it opened. Not true, I think. Yeah, I mean, you get a mixed bunch of news coming out, don't you, from all over the place. And it's all conflicting. Like that guy who just wrote to me, get your facts right. Well, they were right from what I read where I read it, but he might have read something else. Mine might be right, or his might be right, but they're 2 different lots of facts, aren't they? Or supposedly not facts, however you want to look at it. Right, Seamus. Hi, Peter. I changed the topic, but what kind of watch do you have? It's nothing special. It's a Boss. It's just a Boss. I'm not really. I don't like cheapy watches, but I wouldn't like when I was younger in Thailand. I used to wear Rolexes and gold chains. I was Mr. Bling, but I've grown out of all that now. Right, he was Mr. Mice saying Simon does live streams with Rob from 20 Seconds Time. Okay, well, I didn't know that, so everybody knows that now. Hi to Eric from Melbourne, Australia. And don't forget 10 o'clock again. We are going to have Spot the Lady Boy. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep that one up because I'm running out of pictures now, but we have got another one tonight. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. We're about half an hour in now. I'm going to let's see. Like I said, I've got a lot here for you tonight. Let me do another story, one that's got a picture, maybe just make it a bit more interesting, and then we'll do some fun stuff. Just, you know, all the Thais, some of these regions in Thailand are suffering with flooding now. I showed the video in Pattaya last week, but this is a central region, and just to show you how serious it is. I mean, look at this photograph there. I mean, you know, I mean that's like a village high street, would you call it? But you know, they don't seem fazed by it. They just get on with it, don't they? Right. Let's talk about. Let me put this character up here, and I've got a story about this guy here. The guy on the left, obviously, he doesn't look like the most sharpest tool in the toolbox, but let me tell you a story about him. I'll just find that. Right, yeah. So the story that goes with the picture you're looking at, yeah. So the heading on it says British man to be deported as Immigration Bureau boss ordered to get tough with dangerous foreigners in the kingdom. Immigration Bureau police have rearrested a 34-year-old British man who was taken into custody by police on Koh Samui in early February when found to be in possession of drugs and firearms after a day spent at sea terrorizing the coastal community near the Four Seasons Hotel in Ang Thor area of the island. Details of this week's arrest by police were given by senior officers of the force who described the British man, reportedly an officer linked with public charity, as a danger to the public in Thailand. I've got a worse one than that later. There's a American guy. I'll save it for a little bit later. Who's a lot of the Thai people are up in arms about what this guy did to a girl, and I've got a picture of that, and I'll read that out to you later. But I'm dying to give you one of these monkey adverts. Right. So what I'm gonna show you now, and I can't talk over it because when I play a video, it mutes the mic. You don't need to hear me anyway. Right. So in the 80s, we had a set of lots of different adverts, and some of them were quite funny. And the particular ones that I'm going to show you tonight, they're very, very short, but they dressed up monkeys in, you know, clothes, and they did voiceovers to make them look like people. And, you know, some of these adverts are actually better than the programs that are on at the moment. So let me show you. This is actually my favorite one. I'm gonna show you this now. It's very short, but see what you think of this one.
Have you got the sleeping bags? No, but I've got the big bags. Big bags? Hang on, Simon. I'm okay. 10 thread. Super. Let's see Mac for a new tent.
Okay, the new. You'll be needing a big bag for your tent, Jimmy. No thanks, we've got 72.
I mean, that's great, isn't it? Like I say, that is better than a lot of the programs on. I've got 3 more of those, and they're just as good, if not funnier. But I don't want to play them all at once. I string them out a little bit. Okay, let's go back in here and see. Hang on. Right, a lot of you always ask about my diet, how that's going, and I have kept up with that. Let me put that on screen for you while I'm talking. So that's my progress. I'm not doing as well as I was the first 3 months because it gets a little bit laborious, a little bit boring. I've cut down I was walking half an hour in the morning and an hour at night because the weather was great. It was, you know, nice warm weather. It's getting, you know, we've had a bit of rain now. So I've cut that down to half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night. I don't eat late at night. And I kind of eat this Slimming World food at lunchtime. And I'm still eating a lot of fruit and stuff like that. So I'm trying to lose 25 kilos. I've lost 19. If I get to 20 and I can't get any further, that's still a hell of a lot of weight. And what I'm intending to do, as I always say when I put this up, I'm going to make a video of how I did it. And it's not going to be your typical diet, so many calories this and don't eat that. It's not going to be one of them. It's just going to be a 61-year-old guy's lost 25 kilos. And this is how I did it. I'm not recommending you do it. But if you want to copy what I'm doing, it does work because there's a proof. Okay. And you can see by the old chops here, they used to be about 3 sizes bigger, didn't they? If you look at some of my older videos. Okay. Let me say hello to some new members as well. We said hello to one earlier. So AGV Sport, that's actually Michael Parrott, because he wanted to watch that video. You know, the videos that I upload, they normally get uploaded for members a few days earlier, maybe on a Tuesday, and then everybody else can watch them on a Saturday. And because he made that video with me, he wanted to watch it, obviously. And I can't give out free memberships because YouTube take a cut of the membership fee. So if you could, then obviously if you give a free one, then obviously YouTube lose out and they wouldn't have that. So he went in and very kindly bought one. And so welcome to Michael, and somebody who calls himself TGC245C. Okay, right. Let's get back to what you lot are saying. Right. Yeah, Thailand's now on the green list. We've done that. Right, Gary Reid. I visited Chatham in 1977. I went back a few years ago and it's changed a lot. It must have been really beautiful then, because I was there 2 years ago in Chatham, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I hadn't been there before. It's about half an hour from Hua Hin, where I go quite regular. You could take a taxi a few $100 baht, but the Chatham beach, it's like, you know, I suppose it's like Pattaya Beach would have been probably 50 years ago. It's just lined by overhanging palm trees. It's a big crest. It's all small Thai restaurants, and it's beautiful, beautiful. So if it's changed, you didn't say if it's changed for the better or the worse, but I found it very nice. Thanks for that. What's that? Nobody man, just me. Love your channel, pal. Yeah, thank you. Football nerd Mark Hewitt. Hotels in Pattaya are relatively cheap. You can get a good hotel room for as cheap as 15 a night. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm just going to put my Sprite in the freezer just out there. It will literally take me about 15 seconds, else it'll be warm when I get it. So let me just put a card up and I'll be back in 15 seconds while I put this in the freezer. All right, that wasn't long, was it? So just put the Sprite in the freezer, then it'll be nice and cold. I like to have a couple of beers when I do the competition at 10 o'clock. Well, about 10 o'clock anyway. Okay. Right. Let's talk a little bit more about what's going on with the immigration at the moment and closed doors and all the rest of it. I've done quite a lot for you today. Okay. You're going to love this story. Okay. When I first read this, the first few lines, I thought, wow, this is going to be good. This is really going to be good. And then I read on. So let me read it to you. The title is Foreign Tourists Can Now Stay for 9 months in Thailand. All right. That's what I thought. Right. Foreign tourists can now stay in Thailand for up to 9 months without the need to travel abroad and have their visas extended. 3 months on the initial visa with 2 extensions of 3 months each. Thailand's Ministry of Interior says new rules came into effect on October 1st and they're valid until September the 30th next year in a bid to boost the tourism. Sounds great, right? Doesn't it? Reading that, you think, wow, that's great. Yeah, I can go for 9 months. So let's read on now for the requirements. Foreign tourists will, however, have to meet certain requirements to qualify as long stayers. First of all, they must agree to a period of quarantine. So everybody else, so when they stop the quarantine, it's 7 days now. So when they quit it and you want to come on the 9 month, you've still got a quarantine, but it doesn't say if it's 7 days or 14 days. Right. Period of quarantine does not say how long. Here's the best bit. You must show booking receipts from the hotels in which they will isolate. This is despite Thailand claiming they are lifting the quarantine requirements for all visitors on November 1st. Then they must show evidence of payments for their lodgings during their stay in Kingdom. So you've got to show evidence that you've paid for 9 months hotels, lodgings, I don't know, which can be a rented house, a rented condominium room, or a title deed for a condominium room, meaning you must pay in advance for your 9 months accommodation. And if you are denied entry at the border, then good luck in getting that back. So yeah, you get a test when you come in. If you're found positive, then you might as well kiss that money back. You're not going to see it, are you? And if that's not bad enough, they are also required to have health insurance with a minimum of $100,000 cover for the anti-risk treatment, valid for the entire period of their stay in the country. We're not finished yet. They must also have health and accident. They must also have health and accident insurance coverage of 40,000 baht for outpatient treatment and 40,000 baht for inpatient treatment. Having met the requirements, tourists will be granted a special tourist STV, which is for a single use and will allow them to stay in Thailand for 90 days, which can be extended twice for 90 days. The visa extension fee is 2,000 baht each time. Still want to go to Thailand? I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It's it's kind of always these sort of stories. You start reading them, you think this is great. They're doing something really good. But something they have done, I didn't know this. Damon told me this. Apparently, when you go in now on a tourist visa, it's not actually a tourist visa. It's a visa exempt stamp. So it's not a visa. It's a stamp to say you're exempt from having to have a visa. But it was 30 days for most countries, especially European, American, whatever. You didn't need to apply for a visa. You turn up, you get 30 days, and that could be extended for a further 30 days. They've now changed that to 45 days. So not that will do a lot for most people, because most people who go for a holiday, they go for a couple of weeks, a month, something like that. But it will benefit some people, I'm sure. Okay. Right, go hopping. I heard the curfew is changing to midnight. I read through a lot of these websites to gather the news for the stream, and I haven't read anything. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I haven't read anything about midnight. I read it was going from, I think it was 9 till 10. Right, is that Taras Jeskin? Cambodia is 5 times cheaper than Thailand. Yeah, I've been to Cambodia. It wasn't really for me. It might be cheaper, but it doesn't compare with Thailand, does it? I mean, the infrastructure, the whole thing of Cambodia, it wasn't for me. What's this now? Jamie, Market Village and Blue Pot Malls have everything and anything you need. Beach is nice, bit dirty compared to Hawaii. No waves, but yeah, that's the only downside with Hua Hin. The beach isn't that great, but then you got Chatham. I don't particularly like Blue Port myself. I find that's a mall like any big mall you get in Bangkok, but the Market Village is, I quite like that one. They got a food court on the ground level, haven't they? Right, so we're getting lots of information here from different people. Hi Peter, jet lagged 4 day of ASQ Bangkok, had 45 minutes of gym yesterday, treadmill in room. Okay, not so bad. So you're a brave man. You're actually you've gone out there and you're jumping through the hoops, and obviously you've got to stay in the room for quite a while, and then you'll be free, as they say. Hi, Richard. Booked to return London to Bangkok with Thai Airways November 9th, 575 economy with 30 kg checked baggage and refund if cancelled. Yeah, that's not a bad price actually, and that's Thai Airways. Yeah, when did you say that was for? That's for November the 9th. Yeah, well let's hope it's a lot of restrictions are listed when you go. Doug McCall, there is a bar in Hua Hin called the Nat Bar. Saw it in another video, made me laugh. Okay, but our Nat's Bar is called Cockatoo Bar, isn't it? Okay, hey mate, Richard Martin, Mr. Bling, love that. Well, when you're young, you do things like that, don't you? And in Thailand, I mean, I'm 61 now. I'm getting old. I'm not into it anymore. But when you're young, you want the attention, don't you? You don't understand. In Thailand, it's all about money. You've got big fat gold chains and Rolex. You make yourself a target more than anything. But hey ho. Nomad ever say, what's this? Will the lady boy Georgette of the Jungle be in the lineup again this week? The answer to that is yes. And we have another one, let's just say, I don't want to give too much away. You'll have to wait. But yeah, George of the Jungle, he'll be there. And he's joined by another George of the Jungle. I tell you what, let's do another one of these monkey things. They're so funny, aren't they? I've got 4 of them. Okay, let's do this one.
Get in the hang of it. Mind the banisters, son.
Oh, I can't hold it, Dad.
Don't worry, son. I shifted more pianos than you've had hot dinners.
Green, Mr. Shifter. Like refreshment.
Oh, thank you most kindly, madam.
Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot?
You hum it, son. I'll play it.
I mean, fantastic. They wouldn't be allowed to do it now, would they? Because they'd say it's cruelty to animals and stuff. I suppose, however you look at it. But they're just so funny. I've got another 2. And then as we're only sort of 45 minutes in, towards the end, I'll probably show all 4 again because there's a lot of people coming, last hour or whatever, and they won't have seen them. But I could watch them 10 times, let alone 2 times. Marky Mark says, what was that? Mark, that was adverts we used to have in the 80s, comical adverts. I just dug them up because I just thought they were very funny. Right. What's that? What does that say? Can you disable the blue read, Peter? I don't understand what you mean by that, William. Can you disable the blue read? What do you mean by that? No, I don't know what you mean. Sorry. Right. Andrew Hammond. Hi, Andrew. How's your book sales going? The old 70s PG. Andrew, I thought it was the 70s. And when I went in and looked at them, they're actually from about 1985. But you're right to think that because I thought that as well. So because I looked them up today. And shall I give your book a plug? What's it? Get Me Out of Here by Andrew Hammond. Yeah, you got another plug now on your book. But I hope the sales are going well, Andrew. I've got a little bit further in, but now that work started up again, I don't have a lot of time. But I will get through it, I promise. Right. I can't pronounce his surname, but there it is. Do you know if I can fly first to Bangkok? I mean, if I book a flight, if you're going to go to the Sandbox, or do I have to fly direct? I think, you have to fly direct as far as I know, because it is an international airport at Phuket. So the whole point of it is you'll get a PCR, and then when you land in Phuket, I think you're tested again. And then if you're negative, you're allowed to kind of roam the island after a certain amount of time. There's a lot more information out there than more information. I'm not saying the right words. There's a lot of information out there if you want to look it up. But yeah, I think you do have to fly direct. Okay, I didn't know that, Keith. They use the monkeys from the Thai Cross Zoo for that, from them. Very, very good though, aren't they, Mark? Very good. There's that same old question again. Do you think quarantine will be finished mid-December? I don't know. It's hard to say. There's let me go back to the stories. There's one here. Let me just find this. I mean, look, here's a typical story. This is a fairly newish story. Iceland, Germany to donate COVID vaccines to Thailand. Iceland has offered 100,000 Pfizer vaccines, while Germany pledged 346,100 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines, said a government spokesman who expressed his gratitude for the 2 donor nations, both the donation of 100 Pfizer vaccines from Ireland and 346 100 AstraZeneca vaccines are expected to arrive in Thailand this month around the same time as Hungary is set to fill an order of 400,000 AstraZeneca vaccines. The Thai government has previously ordered, and the Red Cross is delivering vaccines to Thailand to their vulnerable workers. So they are starting to now get people, they're getting the jabs. And I know there's a pill. Somebody's invented a pill. So instead of having a jab, you can actually take a pill, and that's under trial. So will it be? I don't think it'll. Personally, it's just me guessing. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be totally open by December because it's too soon from where we are at the moment. If I had to guess, I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, but if we're saying how long until the bars are open, there's no curfews, you can land at the airport, and all you've got to do is show that you've had 2 injections, and they say, very good, away you go, and that's it. I would say at least April, if not through to the end of summer, because there's still too many restrictions. I just don't think it's going to go that fast. Aussie 411, hello from Colombia. How you doing, Jamie? I live here, middle class, for 2,000, supporting Thai girlfriend. All right. Yeah, that's one of the big questions that always comes up as well. Richard, I see that comment. I can't really put that up or say anything about that, but a couple of people have mentioned that to me. But the thing is, it's software, and there's only so many characters you can use. But I don't want to give an opinion on it. But I know what you mean. Right. Thai Terrier, Richard, Hunger Games report. Okay. Yeah, Lewis de Baron. No, he doesn't. If you see those ones that you're talking about, they're very, very simple. Whereas the ones that Simon does take quite a long time because there's a lot involved. He writes a script and there's a whole storyline that's continued, and they're just way more complicated. Okay. Adrian Hawkins, hello. Only just come on here, thinking of flying to Bangkok on 24th of December. What's your thoughts on? Yeah. Well, I think you stand more chance in December than you do in November. Somebody was just saying that they're booked for the 9th of November. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble. I don't know. I'm like you. I'm just guessing. I'm going from information. But 24th of December, you'd like to think so. You'd like to think they're going to try and rescue Christmas. I mean, I was planning to go for Christmas because I was seeing light at the end of the tunnel a few months ago, and then they backtracked, and it's just too volatile at the moment. I mean, like I've said to you lots of times, I don't want to jump through hoops. Fair play to Ed Sweeney, what he's gone through at the moment, but he's not in Thailand, is he? And when I eventually do go to Thailand, I just want to fly to Thailand, maybe show I've had the injections, and then they say off on your merry way. I can check into a hotel. Maybe all the bars won't be open, but there'll be some bars open. There's no curfew. It's open till 2:00, and everything's back to near normality. Until it's like that, I'm not interested. Yeah, they look very similar, Richard, because of the software. Basically, that's what it is. Okay, Edward, I don't know if you're talking to someone else there. Right, Gary Reed, there are a lot more people in Chatham now. The night market is much bigger, but it's still a charming place. I was going to return in December, but I'm going to Pattaya instead. Yeah, I read a story. I haven't printed it out here, but I read a story about Pattaya starting to get busier now. These guys on the beach who are a bit annoying, who you're just dropping off to sleep and they shake your shoulder, and when you wake up, they've got a wooden motorbike they want you to buy. Well, they were telling there was an article that they were saying they're making a bit of money now, nowhere near what they were before the pandemic. But the reason they're making money now is because Pattaya is attracting a lot more local tourists, not overseas tourists. So the businesses in the hotels, especially, they're kind of, and in Bangkok, I was reading today, they're kind of pushing. They're aiming more for the local tourists now because they can't. There's not that many expats out there now, foreign, Western tourists, Chinese tourists, Indian tourists. They're not out there at the moment. So they've got to try and keep these businesses going, and that's what they're doing. Right. Nobody man, just me. Live in Pattaya, but it's not for everyone. Yeah, I lived in Pattaya for a couple of years. It does get too much after a while. It's great if you've never sort of been there before, but you've got to keep a tight rein on yourself there, because if you go into party mood and you live every day like it's a party, you'll soon run out of money and you'll get Pattaya burnout. If you don't know what Pattaya burnout is, there's a few videos on YouTube. It's basically where you kind of you know, you're drinking more alcohol, your body's, you just run yourself down and you end up a wreck, basically. Okay. Harold, you don't have to apologize. That's all right. Yeah, that's right. Same as I say, Mark. They want too many hoops to jump through. Right. Richard said, right, I was talking to somebody else about this. Richard said, I was looking at the Thailand Elite Visa program. The cost of that is astronomical, minimum about 800,000 baht. Where does that go? Well, I was talking to Damien, you know, I said I talked to him on the phone, and we had this very conversation, not tonight, last night. And it's a 10-year visa. It's multiple entry. There's certain perks you get with it, so you don't have to queue up in immigration. Everything's a lot faster. And I haven't looked into all the benefits because, like you quite rightly say, it's very, very expensive. And I wouldn't pay for it. And I said to Damien, I said, look, well, why would you want to take out a 10-year elite visa when, you know, you can get an agent to get you a visa every year, so you don't have to pay that money up front? And he was sort of saying, well, I know it's done and dusted and it's easier then. But I mean, that suits him. I wouldn't do it myself, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have the elite visa in a year's time, because they change everything, don't they? Okay, what's that? Edward Griffin. The Thais are masters at complicated process creation. Right. Marky Mark says, I'm thinking Songkran before things are somewhat back to normal. Well, that's what I'm saying. Songkran's around April, isn't it? March, April, something like that. Right. Okay, Damon, what are you saying now? Thailand is thinking about changing the law. Yeah, okay. That's yeah, that's right. I think I might have a story on that. We'll talk about that now. Just really quick, it's about the vaping, because I used to vape. Have I got a story on that? Nope, I haven't got a story on that. Yeah, okay. So let me talk about that, because I know, because my ears did prick up when I read that. So I used to be a heavy smoker in my younger days. I used to smoke 40 to 50 cigarettes a day, and then I gave up for 5 years cold turkey, and then I started again, and then I gave up again for a year 4 times cold turkey. Really difficult. I don't know why I went back to it. And then I went on to the vape because I thought I'm going to end up in an early grave. I thought I'll go to the vape, and it was great. I went on the vape for about 3 years, but it became like a dummy. It was a habit. I just kept, if I was on here now, I'd be vaping. I just couldn't take it out of my mouth. And the reason I gave up the vape, and I'm really glad I did, but the reason I gave it up, I was in Hua Hin and I was on the beach, and I was with a friend of mine who lives in Hua Hin, a guy called Rob, and he was actually smoking on the beach. Very dangerous if they catch you. But it was in the evening. We were sitting there. The sun was going down. It was, and we were friends. It wasn't anything like that. But anyway, I was sitting there and I'm vaping and I'm looking around, because at the moment it's illegal to use. So many countries in the world allow it, but in Thailand, you know, they raid shops. Vaping is illegal, and one of the ministers, somebody is trying to get it legalized now. But the reason I gave it up, because I was sitting in that scenario I just told you about. I was sitting on the beach. I looked up and there was a big sign there, big sign, and it said no vaping. 200,000 baht. No, it wasn't 200,000. It was the equivalent of £500. So it said, but it said in baht, and I can't remember how much it was. It'd be 20,000, would it? 4, 8, 12, 6. Yeah, 20,000. So it's a big sign. I'm sitting there vaping. I look up, big letters, no vaping, 20,000 baht fine, or 2 years in prison. And I thought, 2 years, I could get banged up for if somebody comes up and catches me vaping, I could get banged up for 2 years, or I have to pay 500 quid. I thought, no, that's it. And I quit on the spot. I said, that's it. I won't do it anymore. But they are, apparently they're going to legalize it, but I won't go back to it. So yeah, you're right, Damon. Okay. Jamie says the elite visa is a waste of money. Steve M, this week Thai changed the 45. Oh, they did, right. Okay, good. Thanks for telling us that, because I didn't know. Damien told me that they changed it to 45 days, and you're saying this week the Thai changed to 40. Why? I don't understand it. Why do they do this? Why do they backtrack? So they're saying we're going to give you 45 days on entry. Everybody goes, wow, thank you, it'll be great. And for no reason, they've gone back to 30 days. Or do they have a reason? Crazy. Dave Andrew. Peter, big problems. I'm double max now in UK booster in November 1. I just want Thailand easy. Yeah, all of us, Dave. All of us. Yesterday, I had my flu jab. It felt like somebody punched me in the arm, but I should be okay now. I'm fully vaccinated. Dutch Falang. I'm sad the ferry from Pattaya to Hua Hin is cancelled. I think that's the least of our worries at the moment. what's that? Seamus Doherty. I come on, Peter. I loved Cambodia. Yeah, it's all right. I used to go to where was that? They have a nightclub there. It used to be called Martinis. It was a big open air kind of nightclub. It was all right, but it's not Thailand, is it? Paul Hoskins, 61 is the new 41. Yeah. I like, I like watching Ed Sweeney's videos, and he came out with a line in one of his early videos, and it sticks with me because it was so funny what he said, and it was so true. And I might have mentioned this before, but he was talking about he'd been going to Thailand for 18 years, and it had this great music in the background, and he was just being very philosophical. Is that the word? And at the end of it, he says, the best thing about coming to Thailand, he says, the girls I meet and take out the bars, they're the same age as they were when I first came 18 years ago. And it just, it really, I thought it was a brilliant line of Ed's to come out with. Right, we've got 5 minutes, and we're gonna do the Ladyboy competition. I'm sure you all know what it is now, but I'll give a brief intro before I show it. Right, David Baker, Peter, what is your favorite bar name in Thailand? They got so many, like they do it innocently, but I haven't really got a favorite one. But you get used to it after a while, don't you? I can still remember when you first get to Thailand, you're like, oh wow, look at the name of that bar. That's really strange, isn't it? You'll get a bar called Hello Bar or My Friend Bar or a Quickie Bar and all these, funny names. But after a while you get blasé to it, don't you? Okay, Bob, your check's in the post. I'll put that up on screen. I'll write that out after the stream and send me your address and I'll send you the check. Right, Jan from Holland. I booked a flight on 28th of October from Amsterdam to Phuket with Qatar Airlines for 450 euros. I guess that's about 400 pounds. If you haven't been on here before, I'm sure a lot of you know I've got a wife who's Korean, from South Korea, and I thought I'd treat her. I thought, you know what, she's working, she's got a new job, she's working hard, and she hasn't been back to Korea for about 5 years since her parents died, not together, but she's got 2 brothers and sisters. I thought, you know what, I'll treat her and my younger daughter, I'll send them to Korea for a couple of weeks. Looked at prices, the cheapest I could find to where she lives, because she's got to take a domestic flight as well. The cheapest was like, I think it was £1,200 going up to £3,000 for economy with 2 stops. So they take off from London, Heathrow, then they go to somewhere in Europe. I think it was Amsterdam, and they get onto I think it's KLM Airlines, then they go to Seoul, and then she has to transfer airports and go to a town called Busan on the south coast, like our Brighton, something like that. And but and then she'd want a couple of grand spending money, wouldn't she? So if I send her, I mean, it's going to cost me £5,000, but we'll see. I have to think about that one. Mark, the commercials bring back so many memories. I might do a couple more of them before. I might do them after the competition. I'll tell you what, I'll do them now, and then I'll do them again in about 45 minutes for everybody who hasn't seen them, right? So these are the monkey adverts. So let me just see which one I've done. I've done that one. I've done that one. Okay, so another 2 here, and they're really short. I'll do both of them together. Here's the first one. And let me take this. It won't be as good if I leave that banner on there. Itchy nose again tonight. There we are. Just take that off and go back to right. We've done that one. We're done. Right, here we go.
Harry!
Oh, hello, Ada.
Hello, Dolly.
Oh, I've been on my feet all morning. Make us a cup of PG, love.
Your favourite.
Oh, me back's killing me ironing my Phil's golf shirts.
Still at it, is he?
Yeah, he likes to play around. Or 2.
Here, Dolly, can you smell something burning?
Yeah, it's me. I've just scored a hole in one. It's the taste.
I must have watched that 5 times today, while I was looking for him. It still brings a smile on my face. Let me do the 4th and last one that I've got. And like I say, we're only an hour into the stream, so 45 minutes time before I go, I'll do them again because I'll be, it doesn't hurt to show them twice because they are funny. Here's the 4th one I've got, and this is quite funny as well. Oh, what happened there?
Quick! Pass another spine of gas! It's gonna go! Quick! Quick!
Hang on, lad, leave it to me.
You're too late, it's gone!
Well, put the kettle under it. I brought our favourite tea. Now, lad, what's needed is little application.
Right. Pass the monkey wrench.
You know who does that voiceover where he says, pass a monkey wrench? It's a guy, I forget his name. He's, the film Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? The guy says, do you want sugar? And he says, no, thank you, Harold. I'm sweet enough. that guy. It's him, isn't it? I'm sure it's him. Damien will tell me because he knows the guy. What, right? Nomad Overseas, you should, you should show the old Hamlet cigar ads, the ones with the remote control summary. Always crack me up. Yeah, I mean, they were, you know, in the 70s and 80s, they had fantastic adverts. They were so well thought out. They were so funny. And like I said earlier, some of them were better than the actual programs they were shown. And it wasn't only the Hamlet cigars, you know, the guy where his wig came off, or he wound his window down, he goes into the car wash, and then all the water comes in, and the Hamlet. I don't know if I could show that because he smoked a cigar. Are we allowed to do that on YouTube? I'll have to look that up. But the other ones were Milk Trade. Do you remember them ones? But of course, you have to be from the UK to remember them. But I suppose people who aren't from the UK, they'll get it, won't they, as soon as they see it? So yeah, I might make this a regular feature on the streams, not just the monkeys. I might start looking for, you know, these. But I've got to be careful because of copyright. I can only take them from places where they say, you know, some sites will say, I'm fine to share these. So when I get them, I keep that text. So if YouTube ever come back and say, well, it's a copyright, I can say, well, it's not, because here's a website I got it from, and here's a text that was underneath the photograph, and then it proves I'm allowed to use them. I can't just go off and, you know. Ty Terry, what are you saying? I just got a 60-day visa and there are no extra days on it. Well, you can apply for another 30 days when you're there. So if you got, I'm presuming you got it from the Thai embassy, 60 days, and when that's coming towards the end, you can extend that for another 30 days. So it's a total of 90 days. Right, cryptocurrency says a PCR test is widely inaccurate. Okay, not sure what you mean on that one, but maybe you can let us know. Taxi Till I remember collecting PG tip cards as a kid. Dave Andrew, we hope December for sure. Yeah, I mean, we just want to get back and have a bit of a decent holiday, don't we? Let me, if I've missed, because a lot of comments have, if I've missed a lot, you know, just rewrite them, because they come in so fast. It's hard to, especially when you put things on and talk to the camera. I miss a lot of them. Okay, I've got to watch some of these I read out. HHD says, I can't wait to get Pattaya burnout again. Yeah. I have to take it easy. Last time I went to Pattaya, you know, I get tired. I do, you know. I mean, if I go out, if I go there for a few days a week, then I make sure I sleep till nearly lunchtime and have a nice meal. Because when you go out all night, it used to be all night in the old days. I think it's 2 o'clock if you can get a drink till 3 now. But you start doing it every night, it does, you know, when you're older, your body can't take it so much. Right, Mark. If I'm on medication, cancer survivor here in the US, is it easy to get medication refills in Thailand? Would I need a form from my primary doctor? No, I mean, I don't want to give you wrong information here, Mark, but in the UK, to get any kind of medicine, we have to go to a doctor and it has to be prescribed. I'm on is it called reflux? You know, I get antacids, so I have to get these tablets, but I can only get them from a doctor. I forgot them once. The good thing about Thailand is you can buy everything over the counter. So you say you're on medication, as long as you know the name of that medication. I think the best way to do it is make sure the first trip you do, get enough that you know will last you, and then go to a pharmacy, especially on Sukhumvit Road, round the corner from Nana. They got one there that sells everything. Take it in there and just say, look, do you sell this? And like I say, I got statins. I take statins before I sleep. I forgot them. They were quite expensive for statins, but the other ones were okay. And if I was a betting man, I'd say 99.9% you can get anything. And the medication in Thailand is second to none. You know, it's all about money. It's a business in Thailand, but it's very, very good. And Bumrungrad Hospital, which is on Soi 3, opposite Soi 4, was voted 5th most excellent hospital in the whole world. So that's got to tell you something. I don't know what the government hospitals are like. I wouldn't like to end up in one of them, but they have good private hospitals. Paul, I'll put that up, but I won't say that. Thai Elite, also Alex says, Thai Elite visa is for 5 years. Look at it as a subscription, $200 a month. Okay. I suppose it depends. I suppose it depends how many times you're going to go there if you're using that Elite visa. Andrew says, every day is Saturday and Patty Day. You are like a kid in a sweet shop. Yeah, it does wear a bit thin when you've done it over and over again. Right, what's that say? Martin Hodgins, I'm actually getting kind of used to not traveling to Thailand. I almost got it out of my blood at this stage. Yeah, I know what you mean, Martin. I know what you mean. I used to, because I used to, like everybody else, I used to go very regular every sort of 3-4 months. And the first sort of year, I was like, oh, this is too much now. But I've kind of got to the stage now where it doesn't really bother me now, and I'll just wait. Right, look, guys, it's gone past 10 o'clock, so I think it's time to get a beer for a start. That's the most important thing. So time to hit your fridge, whatever you're drinking. And I know a few of you guys do drink while I'm doing this stream. And we're going to do Spot the Ladyboy competition. Got a whole new set of pictures tonight. And for those of you, it's your first time on the stream, you've never done it, it's just for fun. I'll go and get some beers, and then I'll explain what the rules are. Rules, I mean, there are no rules really. It's just a game. But I'll get them, and then I'll be back, and we'll spot the Ladyboy. Okay, and I am back. Right, okay, Spot the Ladyboy. What's it all about? So I'm going to run a video. I've set this up in the week. I've got two videos. They're exactly the same, except one of them's got the answers on it. So I'm going to show a video. I can't talk while it's on because it mutes the microphone when I play a video. I can't talk, so I'll explain that. So I'm going to play a video. It will show 18 pictures. Most of them are ladyboys. They're Thai ladyboys who most of them look like women. There are 4 real women in there. So what's that? Maths has gone now. 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. So there's 14 ladyboys. Yeah, there's 14 ladyboys and there's 4 real women. And the object of the game, if you haven't been here before, I don't want to know who the ladyboys are. You're trying to guess. So far, we haven't had a winner. I've been doing it for about 4 streams now. And maybe one person got it one week, but not many get it. So I'll run this clip a couple of times. You'll have a pen handy or your Word document, whatever it is. And when you see one of these images and you think, yeah, that's definitely a lady, make a note of it. And then I'll run it again so you can have a double check. I'll let the answers come in. We'll see if anybody gets it right. I've got them here. And then I'll run the second video, which is a duplicate of the first, but it has, when you get to that photograph, it will say real lady over it. So let me just, and I'll be cracking open a beer in the background when I do that. That's a good thing about it. And I've got to be really careful here that I don't put the answers up first. Right, okay, are you guys ready for this? I always lose a few people at the stream. Somebody probably said, what the hell is this? Spot the Ladyboy. But we're going to do it. Okay, are you ready? So 18 images. And I'm sure you spotted Tarzan there, and I gave him a mate this week. So they're kind of easy, them last two, weren't they? Right, okay, so I'll wait for some answers to come in, and we'll see if anybody gets it, and then I will run it one time. Right, let's coming in thick and fast now. Stuart, no. Stuart Marston, no. Blimey, hang on, where are we? I've lost them. Right. Ty Terrier, no. Stuart Marston, no. Stuart Wright, no. Paul Pryor, no. Nobody getting these? Dutch Falang. No, you haven't even got one. Has anybody got one? Let's have a look. No, nobody's got any of them. I'm going to run them again so you can have a second chance. Right, Alexander Dupont. No, there's only 4, Alex. You put 5. You're not allowed 5 answers. You're only allowed 4. Okay. Eric Whitefield. No. Timothy Mitchell. No. You got 1. Yeah, you got 1. Somebody's got 1. Is it that hard this week? Phil. No, it's not them, Phil. I don't think you know that. Yeah, 17 and 18 is kind of like the Joker in the pack, aren't they? You know, they come around and fix your engine for you. Right, Alan. No, guys, you're in trouble when you get to Patia. San says, is it? Wow. Not bad. Not all right, though. I don't want to say who's right actually, because you can just go back and look at the name and then you've got half the answers, haven't you? I'll say who's wrong though. Is that Ramatunga? Cool, that's a name and a half. You've only put one, but you put it 3 times. Paul Hoskin, yeah, that's the Tarzan number 18. A Nomad Overseas, no. Edda, you've got somebody. You got one, Edda. No, you got a couple. Well done. Nick Smith. Where's Nick Smith? Oh yeah. Okay, you got one, Nick. Scott, 1977. No. Jam Jar Jimmy. Yeah, you got a couple. Nicholas Fletcher. No. Taxi Talal. No. Tom Waddington. No. Phil Cartel. No. Caesar, is it? You got one. Asblaster. Jesus. You got one. Mr. Mitch. Yeah, one of them must be really obvious because you're all getting that one. Richard. You got one. I think there's only one person who got 2. Caesar. You're having another go already. Neil. You got one, mate. Gary Reed. No, nothing there. You're in trouble when you get to Thailand. I'm going to run them again. Give you a second start. Stuart. You got one. Yeah, it is difficult. I'll try and make it a bit easier next week, but it's hard to find the pictures now because what I might do, I might show, because I've had 4 lots now. You won't remember them, will you? So I might show the first lot again and then do them again. And then, okay, last one before we run it again. Marion Marsak, is it? No, you haven't got any, mate. All right, I'm going to run it again and we'll have another go at trying to catch some, get the right answers. And then I'll run it a 3rd time with the answers so you can actually see which ones were the actual real women. Okay, so here we go for a second time. Okay, so let's, I see a lot of you are throwing down answers already. Let me just go back. I don't want to miss any. It's hard to know which ones were from before. Right, let me start with, I think Paul Pryor, you first, and if I miss you, just put them in again, because I'm not sure where the starting place is. So you got 2, mate. Well done. Stuart Wright. You got 1. Football Nerd. You got 1. No, you got 2. Sorry, you got 2. Gary Reed. 1. Yeah, you only got 1, Gary. But it just goes to show you, doesn't it? I mean, Thailand's the only country in the world, I think, where these lady boys, they really, really do look like women. If all you guys out there are watching this and you've just watched them twice and you're struggling to see which ones are the real girls, I mean, it just tells you, doesn't it? They really look like women. Number 17 maybe and number 18 will make an exception for. Wayne, no, you haven't got any of them. ABC Def, you got 1. Eric Whitfield, no, you didn't get. You got 1. You got 1, Eric. Timothy Mitchell, you got 2. So some of you doing a little, some of you getting half of them, but nobody's getting nowhere near all of them. Taxi Talal. Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble when you got to Thailand. You haven't got any of them. Alexander Dupont. You don't ever get them, Alex, do you? You haven't got any. Marion. No. Stuart Wright. You got 1. You got 2, Stuart. You got 2. So you're halfway there. Ida. You got. Well done. Well done, mate. You got it. We got a winner. I'm going to show that up now. Let me just, because I'm going to lose it otherwise. Let me just see if there's anybody else got it, and I'm going to run the answers. Phil Cartel, you got 1. No, 2. Sorry. Go Hopping, you got 1. Tom, you got none. I'm not going to be able to go back and find you. Just let me get your name because you got it right, and I won't be able to find you again when I go back up. I can't even find it now. Yeah, so sorry, I can't find it again, but you'll know Yeah, Ida Paroloni, is it? You got them all right, so I won't be able to find you again. But let me just go through everybody else's. David McCarthy, is it? No, you haven't got any, Dave. I'm afraid. NZ Muzz, you got one. Darren Drew, you got one. Dave Stewart, none. Neil, you got two, mate. You got two. Richard, no, none. Roland, you've only put one down there, but it is right. Charles Sanders, you got one. I'll reveal the answers in a minute. Richard, you've only got one. Carl Wirald, you haven't got any. Right, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to run the answers through again. We did have a winner. We've got one. Well, I'm really happy because I've never had anybody get all of them. So we've got one person guessed all of them. Timothy, what are you saying? I did have yours. You got two, Timothy. Phil, you got two. Pesky and McNuggets, you've got three. Well done. That's not bad. 3 out of 4. You just got the first one wrong. Right, I think it's time to run the answers, okay? This is the last time I'm going to run it. So exactly the same video, but it will show you which ones are the girls. So well done to Pesky and McNuggets, and well done to Ida Parololi. I'm probably saying that wrong, but he says, I'm a lady boy export. Now, how did you get them credentials, I wonder? Here we go. All right. Yeah, I mean, no surprises there for number 17 and number 18. How would you like a date with number 17? Probably kick your head in. Right, all right. Well done to the, two of you. One, well done to the guy who got all 4 of them. And well done to the guy who got 3. And well done to you guys who got 2. And you guys who didn't get any, all I say is don't hang around Boys Town late at night when you've had a few beers, okay? And you'll have to let me know, guys, if you want me to keep this going or maybe it's starting to get a bit stale. I don't know unless you tell me. So I'll keep it going as long as you guys enjoy doing it. I'm sure there's people land on the channel. They just see Thailand band and they think they're going to see, videos of markets and things. They see Spot the Ladybug and think, what the heck is this? All right. Let's have a look. Right. Taxi Talal says 17 and 18 need to give it up as a bad job. Yeah. We got a guy where I live here. I'm in Northamptonshire at the moment. We've got a guy who walks through the town centre quite. I don't want to offend him, so I've got to say it quite. I've got to say it properly. He's a transvestite. Okay, he's a man. I'm sure he hasn't had any operation. He's a man that dresses up as a woman, and the definition of that, to my knowledge, is transvestite. Right. So when you look at them pictures, you can't tell. You look at the lady boys, and you think, that's got to be a woman. There's no way to tell, is there? But you see this guy who walks through our high street. He puts a wig on, he puts lipstick on, he puts women's clothes on. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, the guy looks like he drove the Yorkie truck and he's just put this gear on. So completely different. Let me put that name up there. Ask Blast Alive, but you pick ladies that look like ladies. Yeah, I mean, I have been a little bit unfair, really, because I try to find girls that could be like ladyboys, and I try to find ladyboys that are looking like real women. But I'll try and make it a bit easier next week, okay? I don't want to make it too easy, because if you all get it right, then it's not going to be fun, is it? If you put it up and you all get it wrong. Right. Right, 20 Rothmans, and there's a blast from the 70s and 80s as well. Remember them, 20 Rothmans? Used to smoke them. Right, thanks for that super chat. That'll get me 4 Cronenbergs for next week. There used to be a channel called, is it Conic or just CONC on Twitter on Sunday nights? Same principle, but Farang women mostly. Okay, but thanks for that super chat. And I think there's another one there somewhere. I'd like to say hi to everyone who's right. Eric Tus 4K. Yeah, thanks for that, Eric. Peter, do you have any lady boy stories? Yes. Do you know what? Funny you should say that. I've never, the Saturday morning stories. I've got 3 stories coming in the morning. Let me just say hi to football nerd, because I don't know. That's 40. What is that? I'll have to work that out after the stream. But thank you very much for that. But let me go back to. I didn't leave that on long. Let me just keep that on for a while. Cheers, guys. What are you drinking? Okay, let me go back to your comment, because that's you've put your comment up at the right time. So, I put out the stories on Saturday. I can only put out the stories that you guys send me or other guys send me. Sometimes I get people write to me and say, you made all them stories up. And I'm like, wow, I've got 200 videos, three stories to each video, 600 stories, 500 stories. And I made them. I must be the new Einstein, but no, they're true stories. So your question is, do you have any stories about ladyboys? Normally I don't, because people don't send me in stories about ladyboys. But the second story tomorrow, on the 3 stories, the second one, the actual title of the story is called, if I remember rightly now, Phuket 1998, A Ladyboy is Rolling. That's the title. So you'll have to wait and check that out tomorrow. So that's quite a funny story, actually. Right. Hi to Dimitros. How you doing? Love from Sweden. Yeah, I see you watch a lot of the videos and you always put some nice comments. I think this is the first time you've been in the stream, so welcome. Nice to see you here, and thanks for all your kind words. Okay. Okay, let's get into another messing about too long now. Let's see what else is going on in Thailand. Go through my stories here. So we've done the quarantine. Okay, here's the one that's a little bit quite interesting. The title of this, I took this from, I think this is from the Tiger as well. It says, and there's 2 parts to this, but it's very small. Excuse me, the old burp. Beer makes me burp. Right. Thailand touring tax to deter cheap Charlies. Now, if you haven't heard about this, Thailand's introducing a 500 baht tax. They used to, when I used to go there years ago, they had it and then they discontinued it. I don't mind. It's like £12.50, maybe $15 US. You pay it once. When you used to pay it, it was called an airport tax. So when you were going through, you checked in, you went through to the immigration, there was a machine, you had to put 500 baht or a credit card. It gave you a ticket, and when you went through, you had to show this ticket, and that was your airport tax. And now they're reintroducing this, but there's a lot of controversy around it. I'll just read out what it says. So title, as I say, Thailand tourist tax to deter the cheap Charlies. The Tourism and Sports Ministry is poised to start collecting a 500 baht tourism fee for a tourism transformation fund next year, with the budget following a co-payment model. But then another story that goes alongside that says industry calls 500 baht tourist fees unsuitable. Tourism operators have raised concerns about the 500 baht fee to be collected from foreign tourists next year, worried that the timeline of the policy may not be appropriate for an industry in dire need of recovery. But the way I look at that, I mean, yeah, I know what they're saying, but really, I mean, 500 baht, £12.50, $15. I mean, should you be going to Thailand if you can't afford to pay 500 baht airport tax? If your budget is that tight that paying that 500 baht would make you decide not to go to Thailand, or it would make an impact on your holiday or vacation for the Americans, is your budget that tight that 500 baht would make an impact, like the tourism, the tour operators there are saying? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. You can leave your comments. I'll read them out. Okay, back to the ladyboys. What's this? I read a comment. I'm just about to read it out and I lose it. Here we go. ABC Def. I got one lady correctly identified, but would be happy with all of them. Now. That always surprises me. The first time I ever ran this competition, I had so many guys. They left comments, and maybe Damien, you can leave your usual weekly comment on the Ladyboy competition. But they were saying things like, well, when you've had a few, what does it matter? And I'm like, really? But I'm not into Ladyboys. Right. Make sure you listen to the second story tomorrow. The 3 stories that come out, the second one's great. It's funny. Okay, let me get a photograph with a story, because they're always interesting, aren't they? I'll tell you what we'll do now. Let's do another 2 Thai commercials. I've only got 4. I did 2 earlier. I've got 2 left. There's only half an hour to go. So let me play you these. See what you think of these.
มองเธอสาวเธอสวยฉันจึงได้มองหากเธอไม่สวยฉันจะไม่มองหากเธอไม่แจ่มฉันจะไม่จ้องฉันจะไม่มองในหัวใจเต้นหากเธอสวยแจ่มดังจันทร์เพ็ญฉันแทบช็อกตายเพราะใจเต้น
ต้องมองกันนานๆของเนี้ยมือถือ J Phone ให้ใช้นาน14 วันมีปัญหาเปลี่ยนเครื่องใหม่ทันที J Phone จาก J-Ma
Yeah, very humorous way. They got these, a great sense of humor to get a message across, haven't they? it's great. Now, this next one I'm going to show you, this isn't really so much a humorous one. This is to get, obviously, for the Thai government, is a message for Thai people. And if I play you this, you'll see the message. It's not a funny one, but it's worth watching. Just have a look at this.
ของปลอมมันเยอะ
ดูให้ดีๆ
Oh, caught me gut filling up the old Sprite there on top of the beer. So yeah, I try and get a few of them in each week. I mean, they're quite fun, aren't they? And quite interesting. It's difficult to sit here for 2 hours and just talk, you know. So I like to try and chuck a few bits and pieces in. Okay, where are we? Right, that's the one, Damien. That's the one. You always put that. We're talking about the ladies' boy. There you put. I always say a hole is a goal. Repeat the stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying anything. Yeah, Richard, maybe you should have a contest pre-op or post-op. But how would I know? Because you don't kind of get them pictures, do you? I mean, when the thing is, when you go to where I get the pictures for the lady boys, I know there's no women on there. It's just lady boys. So I know they're lady boys. Then I go to a place and I know they're all women. There's no lady boys, so I can put it together. But how would I know that one? You know, great idea, but a bit hard to kind of organize. Oh, the old beer's making me burp again. Don't get the big deal. Don't get the big deal. Vietnam charge you $40 to enter their country. Yeah, it's like years ago when I went to Cambodia. They charged you. You had to take a passport photograph of yourself into. No, it was Cambodia. That's right. You go into Cambodia. You had to take a passport photograph, and it would cost $2 to go into the country. But you never knew that. I only knew that because a friend had been before me. He told me, make sure you bring a passport photograph, because back then, I'm talking many, many moons ago, many years ago, if you got there and you didn't have the passport photograph, they still let you in, but you had to pay $40, $50, something like that. But I remember when they asked me for a passport photograph and I got it out of my wallet, they looked so disappointed. But yeah, it's just a money-making exercise, isn't it? A Nomad ever says, I think that was number 17 in the video. All right, no, that was yeah, bit butch. All right. Yeah, Damon. Yeah, you spend 5K for a good time. Well, we're not all rich like you, Damon. Just joking, mate. No, you spend 5K for a good time on a holiday. What's 500 baht? Absolutely. I mean, when I go there, I normally go because of work and all the rest of it. I normally go for. I end up, if you cut out all the flights, I'm there for 10 to 12 days. And I normally get through a couple of grand or 3 grand. I always take 3 grand. Sometimes I come back with a grand, 1,000. I take 3. Sometimes I come back with 1,000. Sometimes I come back with 2, 4, 2, 6. But, 500 baht, I wouldn't even think about it. I mean, if they said 5,000 baht, then I'd think you're mad. I'll probably still end up going, though. Oh, that's Stuart Wright. Sorry, it wasn't Damon. Sorry, Stuart. Okay, so let's see what else I've got here for you tonight. We've done them. Let's do. Okay, look here. This guy is a nutcase. This guy. I'm going to put a photograph up now, and I'm going to read the story. And I'm just going to say this guy's life is going to be, well, just have a look at this guy, and let me read the story that goes along with him. It'll take me a minute to find it. Right. Okay. So the gentleman you can see on screen now, and they're checking the passport with him there. This is the story about him. Okay. So the headline is, American tourist faces a Khon Kaen court on assault rape charges after his arrest in Bangkok on Saturday. Robert Andrew, high on speed pills, was riding a motorbike without number plates and attempted to molest a young girl at a roadside honey stall in Ban Pai, I think it is, district of Khon Kaen, after he brutally assaulted and raped a 45-year-old woman at a massage parlor earlier on Monday. The US man's rampage has caused anger and revulsion in the kingdom. The 37-year-old American man is to be taken back to Khon Kaen to face legal prosecution. He was arrested at an apartment in Soi Nana off Sukhumvit in Bangkok on Saturday morning. So Yeah, I mean, guys like him, you know, they're just giving foreigners bad names. And the English guy who was, you know, with the guns and everything. And, you know, it's a misconception. A lot of people who go to Thailand, they've never been there before. They think every girl is for sale. And it's a stupid way of thinking, you know. I mean, even like he's what he's done to this poor girl, 45-year-old girl working in a massage parlor. He's obviously assumed that for a price, or maybe he offered her a price and she said no, and he wasn't going to take no for an answer. But she's probably married with a family, and that, you know, massage in Thailand is a legitimate job. I know. Look, you go to a place like Pattaya and around Nana, you know, they got the massage parlors with all the funny things that go on and all the rest of it. But real massage. I used to go to a real massage place on Washington Square off Soy 22. Older ladies, 40, 50, they'd walk on your back and crack you, you know, crack every bone in your body, but it was good. And, you know, most women who work in massage parlors, they got families, you know, they got husbands, boyfriends, you know, and this guy, you know, to go in there and terrorize what he's done, and a young underage girl as well. It's no wonder the you know, the population of Thailand's disgusted with what he's done, and I hope he gets everything that's coming to him. Okay, Ziggy, how do I pronounce that now? Ziggy Borkowski. Are you Polish, mate? Think about how much you spend in the bars at night. Yeah, 500 baht, nothing, is it? I think the people who are whining about it, they're just really cheapskates, real cheapskates. They're probably calculating, thinking, oh, 500 baht, I could get 2 Heinekens for it. You know, I mean, right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Actually, I said I agreed to it before I'd read all of it. Not J. I don't know what the J stands for. You say this guy's an embarrassment to all foreigners, especially. Yeah, that was my point. All foreigners, not just Americans. He's American, but we had a British guy do it. The other story I read. So you know, it's terrible. You know, you go to a country, you got to respect the people, respect the country. You know, we all get a little bit drunk. We do silly things, but you don't do stuff like that. Okay, so Liam, it's all coming out. And Liam Harden. He's wanted on 2. Okay, I don't want to say the word. Charges in the States. Okay, so he's just a total. Yeah, he's a predator, isn't he? Yeah, he was on the run for a while. They caught him. They caught him just in an apartment off. Not right. Washington Square A. Who's NZ Must. Washington Square A. Good memories. It's gone. Yeah, Bangkok Pat did a very good. He does live streams now. He did a very good video on Washington Square. And actually, I lived for a while. I lived on Soy 22 opposite. If those of you who are old hands, you remember Soy 22 5 years ago. Would you remember Larry's bar? It was kind of done as a surf. I went to Larry's house in California. He was a kind of ex-surfer. You know, he's about 40, but he was one of the, you know, one of these guys who liked to surf. And he opened this bar. And it was for the sort of local expats around there. And it's had surfboards and sand in the corners and stuff like that. I lived opposite there. And Washington Square was behind there. It's all gone now. But a lot of the things Pat said in his video about the CIA drinking in certain bars and good information, I didn't know that either. So that was a good video. Gary Reed, when in Rome. And you're talking about the Ladyboys again, aren't you? Okay, a few private conversations going on here. Right. I'm glad you've come in, Trevor, because I'm going to do what you did to me the other day. You've invited me onto your stream on Wednesday as a guest, and I'm very happy to come on there again. Thank you very much. Now, I did send you a WhatsApp message about 2 days ago. For some reason, I've got my phone here, actually. You haven't actually, I don't know if you're on a different number or something. My battery's low, so I won't be able to show you. But the message I sent you, you know, on WhatsApp, you get 2 blue ticks when someone's looked at it. It hasn't gone blue, so you haven't seen the message. I think your new stream, I told everybody earlier, I advertised it for you. I said it's on 7 p.m. on a Wednesday night to catch, I think, the UK audience. So I have already told everybody about it, and I've said I might be a guest on your stream. I hope that goes ahead. That'll be fun. But I have sent you an email today off your website, you know, the mail form. I sent it through there. So, yeah, maybe you can get back to me and let me know if that's definitely on. And you know, yeah, Wednesday. So and if you didn't hear that earlier, guys, Trevor Buzz and Patter, he's got a new schedule Wednesday at 9 p.m. Okay, so hope to hear from you soon, Trevor. Right, right, Mark. What is a decent amount of money to set aside for 3 weeks or so to bring to Thailand, just a carefree, fun vacation? Right, the big question into that equation, Mark, because this is a question that comes up quite often. It depends if you're going to be having female company, and it also depends without how many times you're going to have female company. So let me tell you, for me personally, because obviously I'm married to a Korean lady, so I don't take female company. I go out drinking. I go to Soy Cowboy. I'm not cheap. I buy drinks, and I'm, when I go out there for 10 to 12 days, how long did you say? 3 weeks. All right, let me get 3 weeks for me. I would say, so you pay your air ticket and your hotel in advance online, wherever you come from. I think you said you're American. So do your air ticket and your hotel in America. So that's out of the way. You paid for that. And now you just need spending money. So I would say anywhere between 2,000, unless you're a real party animal or you're a cheap Charlie, but unless you're one of those two, but you're near enough a normal guy, I would say a daily budget, a good daily budget would be anywhere between, at the low end, 2,000 baht up to 4,000 baht. That'll pretty much get you through your day. If you drink quite a bit, you'll be okay. Obviously, the more you drink, the more you'll spend. Now, that doesn't include female entertainment. If you want female entertainment, then obviously that's a different matter. Then you could probably double your budget. Okay, right. Okay. Right, what's Trevor saying? Mate, I'm a wanker. Okay, I'll take your word for it. So I'll presume then, Trevor, you will get back to me. So I'll just tell everybody again. So this Wednesday, I've had Trevor on my channel before when me and Simon did the stream. So I'm going to be a guest this Wednesday on Trevor's stream. I don't know what he's going to ask me. I hope he'll give me a hint in the messages he sent me, and we'll have to see what it is. All right. So if you've come late into the stream again, I'm going to do the PG Tips adverts again. We've done the Ladyboy competition. We did the Thai adverts. Right. So if you haven't been here before, if you're not English, you won't get this, but it doesn't matter because they are funny. I've got 4 adverts here, and they're really short, and they're advertising tea bags. These were shown in the UK in the 80s, and they dressed monkeys up and they played human parts. They wouldn't be allowed to do it now, but they're really funny. They're better than the programs that they. These were the adverts in between the programs. I think they were funnier. So I'm going to play my favorite one first again. And like I say, they're really short. And if you watched them earlier in the stream, it doesn't matter because they're great. Here's the first one.
Have you got the sleeping bags? No, but I've got the big bags. Big bags? Hang on, Simon. I'm okay. 10 thread. Super. Let's see Mac for a new tent.
Okay, the new. You'll be needing a big bag for your tent, Jimmy. No thanks, we've got 72.
I mean, it's Jock, isn't it? Let's go and see Jock. It couldn't be any more cliche than that. I also like the plumbing one. That was very funny as well. But let me do this one first.
Get in the hang of it. Mind the banisters, son.
Oh, I can't hold it, Dad.
Don't worry, son. I shifted more pianos than you've had hot dinners.
Creed, creed, Mr. Shifter. Like refreshment.
Oh, thank you most kindly, madam.
Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot?
You hum it, son. I'll play it.
I mean, they're great. Absolutely brilliant. So we've done them. 2 more.
Harry!
Oh, hello, Ada.
Hello, Dolly.
Oh, I've been on my feet all morning. Make us a cup of PG, love.
Your favourite.
Oh, me back's killing me ironing my Phil's golf shirts.
Still at it, is he?
Yeah, he likes to play around. Or 2.
Here, Dolly. Can you smell something burning?
Yeah, it's me. I've just scored a hole in one. It's the taste.
Okay, and the last one. I've got to play these again, guys. They're so funny.
Quick! Pass another Spinacar! It's gonna go! Quick! Quick!
Hang on, lad. Leave it to me.
You're too late, it's gone!
Well, put the kettle under it. I brought our favourite tea. Now, lad, what's needed is little application.
Right. Pass the monkey wrench.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that guy passed the monkey wrench. That's a guy at a Lock, Stock and 2 Smoking Barrels. And the guy with the glasses, he says, I'm sweet enough. I forget his name. Damien, you haven't told me what his name is. You told me the other day. And what I'll do, we've got about another 15 minutes. I won't play all the Thai commercials again. I'll just play the first one because that was quite humorous, wasn't it?
ลูกอมขายไง
เม็ดละบาท
เอาเม็ดนึง
ไม่มีทอนมีทอน
สมควรใช้บัตรเงินสด Smart Purse.
Okay, so as you know, the Thai commercials are a regular feature of the chat of the stream. But I think what I'm going to do after this week, because of the PG tips, and you were saying about the milk tray adverts and also the Hamlet adverts, I'll scrape them up. I'll go and look for them, and I'll make that a regular feature of the streams every week, because they are good to watch again, aren't they? I think, you know, most of the guys who come into this stream, you know, they're sort of 40 up, 45, 50, because I'm 61, and you know, you remember this stuff. It's good memories, and anything that puts a smile on your face, you know, through these gloomy times, has got to be worth watching, isn't it? Okay, so I don't know if Trevor's still in. A lot of people saying hi to Trevor. Let's have a look. Trevor, we'll get you on the 1:30 Bangkok time, mate. 1:30 Bangkok. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7:30. So does your stream go out at 8 then? So okay, you'll have to, but I'm sure you're going to write to me anyway, so that's all right. We won't do it here. Let's just see if there's any more stories that I've missed out. Let's have a look now. We did here's quite an interesting one, right? Let me put the photograph of this one up, and then, because it's quite interesting, I'll put the photograph up, then I'll find the story. Here we go. Now, you won't believe what that guy's holding and how much it's worth. Right, here we go. So the title of this is Thai Fisherman Nets 42 Million Baht Haul. Can you believe it? What he's holding in his hand? What do you think it is? It's worth 42 million baht. A hard-up fisherman in Thailand is in line for a windfall of more than 42 million baht after finding a rare piece of expensive whale vomit. Yeah, you heard me right. Whale vomit on a beach. The substance, which is regurgitated by sperm whales, can be sold for up to 1.4 million baht a kilogram. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. I plan to sell the vomit, as I've already received a certificate to prove that it's real. If I can get a good price, I'll retire from working as a fisherman and throw a party for my friends. The vomit is used for medicines and potions, and as a spice in the West, it was used to stabilize the scent of fine perfumes. That's amazing, isn't it? You know, look at that. Well, they are big animals, aren't they? So I'll take that off. And we'll go back to the chat. Let me just get rid of this now. Okay. I've just got to stick that up for a minute. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah, Nicholas Fletcher says, so that was for, is it Mark who asked me how much you need as a budget? So you're saying take lots of money, you always spend more than you think. Yeah, that's true. The reason I take, when I say I take £3,000, I mean, I've got access to more. I can use the ATM card, but I never use it. And while we're on this subject, just in case you didn't know, when you use an ATM machine in Thailand, it doesn't matter whether you take out 100 baht or, 20,000 baht, you'll get charged 220 baht. That's the fee. So if you do have to use an ATM machine, try and think how much you'll need and just take the maximum 20,000. I think the Bangkok bank will let you take 30,000. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I did it. But yeah, it's a good idea. Take more, because there's nothing worse than being in a great country like Thailand. You know, you've got 3 days left to go, and you think, I want to go out to Walking Street tonight, or I want to go down to Soy Cowboy, and I don't want to think about money. I want to have a blowout. And you count your money, and you think, oh, it's a bit tight. And every time you buy a drink, you've got to look at how much you got left. That's not a way to have a holiday. And if you don't spend it, you bring it back, don't you? Okay. Yeah, go as a 2-week millionaire. That's right, Richie. Just save up and have plenty of money when you get there. Okay, let me get rid of that. Just what you guys are saying there. Okay, what's Kenneth O'Connor was Plumber Pete. Okay, did Kenneth O'Connor? I don't know Kenneth O'Connor, but I thought it was the guy, you know, the guy at a Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. He's the kind of the gangster boss. He's got the glasses. What's his name in it? Damien told me the other day. I can't remember, but Pots a monkey wrench. I thought it was him, but okay, thanks. Yeah, Richard, you hum it, I'll play it. They wouldn't be allowed to make their adverts anymore, would they? Prior 9, don't be so tight. Take a few thousand or don't go. It's Disneyland for adults. You tight asses. Well, there's plenty of cheap Charlies out there. I think if you live out there, you've got an excuse to be a cheap Charlie, haven't you? Because if you're retired and you're on a pension, you're on a budget, you can't live like a 2-week millionaire. Somebody's going out there for, you know, a 2-week black. I mean, when I go out for a couple of weeks, I mean, I don't. I'd like to say I'm frugal, but on the other hand, I'm not. I enjoy myself. So if I want to buy a load of drinks, I wouldn't ring a bell. Of course not. I'm not that crazy. But, you know, I don't look at a menu. I don't go into a bar and think, well, how much is a beer in here? Or I don't go into, if I want to go to a restaurant and have a steak, I have a steak. I don't look at the menu and think, well, how much is that? Because I'm on holiday. I've saved up for it. I'm going to have a good time. But you can't do that if you live there. You've got to be, you know, a bit more frugal than that. I know guys who live there and they'll only go into go-go bars when it's happy hour. They'll look at the eye candy. They never buy ladies' drinks. And they have a good time doing that. And they, you know, they just got to be careful. That's fair enough. Damien, that's it. That's who I was thinking of. Bricktop. He's the guy in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Okay. Stuart Wright. It was Kenneth O'Connor from the Carry On films. Yeah, a lot of different answers coming up here. John Campbell. Now that's one I forgot about. I like the Leonard Rossiter. Legend. Rising Damp. Yeah, that's the one where he's on Concord with Joan Collins, isn't he? And they're having the Cinzano, and she kind of, is it him or her? One of them gets wet anyway. But yeah, there's so much scope here to bring some good stuff to the stream. I'm going to really get into this week and try and get some more of this stuff. But the monkey ones, I've got to be honest with you guys, the monkey ones are my favorites. I might get some more monkey ones next week. Okay. Football nerd, I'm relatively younger than half my age, but the content you post here is great fun, even for younger lads. Yeah, I mean, it's good to hear that. You know, it's I'm not on any kind of an ego. I'm just a guy who loves Thailand. I've been gone for years, lived in Thailand, worked in Thailand, and I do this channel because it's either this or I'm going to watch TV. I'm not in it for the money. You don't make loads and loads of money on YouTube. Believe me, guys. I think I've had £20 or dollars in super chats, which I'm really thankful for, because I'll buy beers with that. And, you know, you get a little bit from the advertising. But if you did it for a living, you'd be earning like 10 pence an hour or something. I do it because I enjoy it. I love to, you know, when you write comments like that, it makes me happy. I'm glad you enjoy it. No, it's not, Richard, it's not whale poo, it's whale vomit. They regurgitate all this stuff. And that's, apparently it's worth a lot of money. Yeah, do you know what? You're Gary, top of the class, mate. That was what, when I read it out, that was the word, but I can't pronounce it. Is it pronounced ambergris? Ambergris? I probably said it wrong. But when I read the story, it had that word. It did say whale vomit, but later on it said ambergris, I think it is. And I thought, I'll cut that out because I'll screw up. When I read these stories out, sometimes it will say, I'm telling a story about a policeman who said this. It will say in the real story, it will say Major, and his first name is last name, but his last name is about that long in Thai. And there's no way I can pronounce that. So I change it and I put a major at the police station said, because, you know, it tripped me up. And that's what happened here, Gary. But you're absolutely right. Well done, mate. It's the right way to pronounce it. David Baker, whale vomit. Yeah. Okay. What else we got here? Right. Let me just, I just want to make sure I haven't missed out on anything. We've done the whale vomit, done the flooding. That's all okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've done everything there. Just say hi to the new members again today. And I'll finish up on your comments. Put that up there for you, Paul. I hope not. Not that big anyway. Yeah, they use it in. I have heard about it before. They use it. It said in that story they stabilize perfumes. I'd heard that they use it in perfumes. I don't know. I didn't read that they stain. Yeah. Nicholas Fletcher said that's sick. It is, but I'd love to find it because 41 million baht. It's worth having, isn't it? Right. Let me just get rid of that. Okay. I'd love to know if there's anybody out there who goes out there for a couple of weeks and does it on a real tight budget and not so much, you know, I'd love to know how much you spend on a real tight budget and also what kind of a holiday do you have? Do you stay in a hostel and then, you know, you only drink beers out of set? I'm not putting anybody down. You know, we talk about the 2-week millionaires, but there must be guys who just enjoy having the sun on their back and they go out there and they don't have a lot of money. So they get a budget ticket that stops off from the UK. They stop off in Dubai for 20 hours or however long it is. They stay in some hostel that's £8 a night. They drink the cheapest beer out of 7-Eleven and they just sit on the road and look at everybody. I wonder if there's any guys who have that kind of a holiday. I shouldn't think so on this channel. What's that you're saying? 20 Rothmans. Is it easy to set up an account in Thailand to park money? Right, you're talking about a bank account. So normally to open a bank account, there are certain conditions. You need an address in Thailand. I'm sure there are going to be ways around it, but you need an address and you need to be, I don't think you can set, no, not I don't think, I'm sure you can't set up a bank account on a tourist visa. You just can't do it. But there are, if you go into YouTube, and that's a serious question that you really want to have knowledge on, if you go into YouTube and type that in, you'll have very detailed expert knowledge. But as far as I know, on a tourist visa, no, you can't open up a Thai bank account. Linda Sutton, what was Linda saying? Thank you very much, Peter, for keeping us updated about Simon and Mem. Love Linda and DJ Sammy. I don't know who DJ Sammy is, but it's nice. It's great that you've been in the stream tonight. I hope we haven't offended you with anything about ladyboy competitions or any of the other stuff that comes up, because it does get a bit raunchy some nights, and sometimes I forget it's a public forum and you never know who's watching. So thanks for joining us tonight, Linda. All right, what's this? Taka Twan, is it? Not wise telling everyone you got $3,000 cash on you. Yeah, but I don't have $3,000 cash on you. I go with $3,000. That's what I go there with, but I don't take $3,000 out with me. That goes in the safe. Right. Liam Hardin, you won't get charged if you put money into your Revolt card. Do you know what? I'm a dinosaur. I don't even know what a Revolt card is. Change it to Thai baht and use a card in the ATM. Okay, I'll look at this stream tomorrow and I'll go back on that and I'll see what a Revolt card is. Okay, so go hopping. I've just worked. Okay, okay. So you've just joined as a member tonight. Welcome to you. But I've just looked at your username, and I guess there's a website goes with that. And I will go and check it out. Right. Okay. Alex, it's cheaper to party in Thailand than at home. Alex, you can't party at home. I mean, you think about guys my age, 61, partying for me is going to get fish and chips. And if I'm really lucky, I might have some curry sauce with it. Think about it. If you live in a big city, paying 2 drinks will cost you. Yeah. I mean, my days of really partying are sort of out the window now, but I still enjoy going to Nana and just people watching. You know, I'm 61. I'm not some kind of an old perv. I suppose I am in a way, but no, I'm only joking. You know, just because you get older, it doesn't mean you can't go and have a good drink and enjoy yourself, does it? Right. Young lad team right here. Okay. Richard said Bricktop was Alan Ford Cockner, actor. Yeah, he's been in lots of stuff, hasn't he? But it's just that voice of his, you know. And it did sound. Look, before I go, look, let me play the monkey one more time and just listen out for the ending. You know, he said, pass a monkey wrench, the very last bit. You tell me if you think that's Bricktop or it's somebody else. I know it's. Here we go.
Quick! Pass another spina car! It's gonna go! Quick! Quick!
Hang on, lad, leave it to me.
You're too late, it's gone!
Well, put the kettle under it. I brought our favourite tea. Now, lad, what's needed is little application.
Right. Pass the monkey wrench.
Yeah, okay. Right, let me get down to some of the later comments there, because you just some people are mentioning what we were talking about, the bank account. Somebody said, I can't see it on this screen, but I'm looking on the other screen. It says, I've lost it now. Somebody said if you put it in a friend's bank account. I spend nothing on myself in the UK. My budget for food and toiletry is £25 a week. A week. Okay. I wish I could find that comment about. Hang on. Oh, there we go. You thought. You can use your friend's bank account if you're there for 3 to 4 months. All right. Yeah, but do you want to put all your money in your friend's bank account? Is he a good friend? I don't know. I wouldn't feel too safe with that. Wok ATM, my lord, bird nest soup is Asian delicacy, regurgitated. Yeah, it's very popular in Singapore. When I worked in Singapore, bird's nest soup, but people don't realize what it is. And the reason it's so expensive is because exactly that, what he's saying there. Right, D Marta, I tried to stay in under $50 per night hotels. So $50. So that's, oh my, you're still sitting in good hotels though. $50, $100 is 3,000 baht, 1,500 baht. Yeah, it's typical with me. I stay in hotels for about 1,000 baht a night. You get a good hotel for 1,000 baht a night, even in Bangkok. Okay, pesky McNuggets. When I'm in Thailand, I always have a big meal of lobster. That's something. Yeah, absolutely. You know, you it's great. That's one of the great things that people forget sometimes when you go to Thailand. You know, they talk about you girls all the time, but you go to Thailand. I mean, some of these buffets that they do in the five, you wouldn't go into London and into a 5-star hotel, walk in and have the buffet, would you? It'd be too expensive. But you know, you for instance, the Holiday Inn in Bangkok, one of the Holiday Inn, I forget which one it is. They've got a fantastic, absolutely fantastic Indian buffet, and it's about 800 baht, something like that. Okay, 800 baht, you're talking 20 quid, £20. You know, and there's so many restaurants in Bangkok like this where you can go and have lobster, crab, and things you wouldn't even dream of when you're back home. Right, what's this, Demetrius? Demetrius, love you. I have met a woman from Thailand, and she is so kind. My Greek family. Are you Greek? I did wonder where you were from, Demetrius. Loves her. Yeah. Oh, okay, Demetrius. Let me explain here, because some people think I'm sort of anti-bar girl, anti-go-go. It's not that. It's nothing to do with that. I don't think they're bad girls. They're good fun. You know, they play these games and everything. They're nice girls, but they're just not girlfriend material. So when I'm talking about girls in Thailand, I'm not talking about normal Thai girls. And when I say normal, everyday girls who hold down everyday jobs, I'm not talking about those sort of girls. Most of the stories that get sent in are sent in with guys who try to develop relationships with Thai bar girls or massage parlor girls or go-go bar dancers. That's why they're always train wrecks, car crash stories. So I've got friends who live in Bangkok who are married to Thais. They've got very successful marriages, relationships. They have families, children, and it's very, very good. There is occasionally a guy who'll take a girl out of a beer bar, and it has been successful. I don't know too many. I know one, but unfortunately that ended in a bad way. I don't want to like end the stream in a doom and gloom bad way here. But you know, when sometimes people will say to me, "Oh, you're very anti-Thai woman," or "You're very anti-bar girl," and I'm really not, guys. I mean, I think they're great fun. They really are, and you know, they do what they got to do. I mean, it's easy for people to criticize them because they don't have an education. Most of them, they come from Isan in the north of the country. Their prospects to make money are not a lot. They can work in a factory for very low wages, or they can do what they do in Pattaya and have 5 times what they would normally earn. So I'm not an anti-bar girl. It's nothing to do with that. But what you've said in your comment, I've met a woman from Thailand and she's so kind and all the rest of it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm well done for that. Okay, right. Paul Hoskin, bar girls will let you put your money in. Yeah. Will you see it again? Oh, that's a problem. Okay, right. What's Darren? I opened a bank account at Bangkok Bank about 5 years ago on a 2-week holiday. Used hotel address. I transfer. Okay, right. All right. Well, you can do it then. Right. Video. Was it? Right. Stuart. Videos of Kenneth. Yeah, that's right. PG tips as look like he did a couple. Yeah, I'm gonna. You know, after the stream, I'm gonna type in Kenneth Connor. Is that the guy Brickhouse? Is that his real name? Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up in a minute, guys. We're nearly there. Stuart, for Nicholas Fletcher, I stayed in a condo in Jompton, £120 for a week with swimming pool and a gym, 30th floor with sea view, so don't have to. Yeah, I mean that's just not something you get in Bournemouth, is it? Yeah, normal one there. You can take the girl out of the bar, but never take the bar out of the girl. Absolutely. Right. Neil, Google says Peter Sellers and Bob Monkhouse did the monkey voices. I'm getting intrigued with this now. I'm going to have to look into this a little bit. Right, John the accountant. Very difficult to open a bank account in Bangkok unless you're a resident. That's what I thought, John, because You can't do it on a tourist visa, can you? Because they want to see a permanent address. Okay, guys. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. I put a lot of research into it, so to try and be interested in the adverts and the competition, everything. I'll do the same for next week. But that's about it now. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. It's 11 UK time here. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow morning, 3 stories. The second one is a belter. And Wednesday, I'm not sure what time Trevor said, if it's 7 or 8 o'clock, but I'm going to be a guest on Buzzing Patio. I've got no idea what he's going to ask me. Hopefully nothing too personal, but I don't mind. I'll be there. And what's Trevor saying? Not going to tell you, mate. We're going to be live. Haha. Okay. I'm going to have to be very careful now, not drink anything when I go on Trevor's stream, because he might catch me literally with my pants down. Okay, guys, it's been a great stream. Have a brilliant weekend. And I'm not here next Friday. I do it every 2 weeks now. So I'll be here in 2 weeks on the Friday. I'll see you on Trevor's on Buzzing Patio on Wednesday. And don't forget, 3 great relationship stories in the morning. So I'll see you then. Thanks a lot for joining me tonight.